Hi, do you know exactly how to use some, any, no and particularly none? This is Susan Broder from Speak Languages and Travel the World, here to help you improve your English with minimum effort and maximum benefit. Now, most people don't get too confused between the differences of some and any. So some, which is used for the affirmative, and any, which is used for the negative and the questions. But as soon as we have to use no or none, it gets a little trickier. So let's start with some and any. It's true that some is always for the affirmative and any is for the negative and the question. But there are some questions where you can use some, and that's when it's something that is undoubtable. For example, if you go into a cafe, you presume they have coffee, so you're not going to say, have you got any coffee, or can I have any coffee, because that's their job, they have to have coffee. So you'll say, can I have some coffee, even if it's a question. And in fact, I would say that every time you have the word can, you presume that there is this this thing that you need or you want, and therefore some is perfectly correct. Also, if you go into a supermarket, maybe at the delicatessen where you can see everything, you can say, can I have some of that cheese? Because you see it there, there's no doubt they've got it. Instead, if you're wondering, you can't see the particular ham you're looking for, then you can ask, have you got any of that particular ham, because it's doubtful, you don't know if they have it. So any is always a demonstration of doubt, and therefore can is usually used with some, but otherwise I would say that any is for questions. Now, instead, when to use no and none, let me show you a document to make it easier for you to visualize. So we said that some is used in affirmatives. There is some Coke in the fridge. That's because we're saying what there is in the fridge. Instead, if we don't know what there is, we can say there is something to drink in the fridge, but we haven't actually specified what it is. So something substitutes the word Coke. Affirmative, there is some Coke in the fridge, or there is something to drink in the fridge. Now, if we want to say a negative sentence, we'll say there isn't any Coke in the fridge, or there isn't anything to drink in the fridge. We can also use the verb in the affirmative and say there is instead of there isn't, but then we'll use the word no. There is no Coke in the fridge. What does that mean? The sentence has an affirmative verb, but because we're using the word no, we've actually given it a negative meaning. So there is no Coke in the fridge is equivalent to there isn't any Coke in the fridge. Or we can also say there is no thing to drink in the fridge. So there is nothing to drink in the fridge. Now we come to the questions. Is there any Coke in the fridge? Any is used for questions. We have three possible answers. Affirmative, yes, there's some. Negative, no, there isn't any. But we can also use the affirmative verb and say, no, there is none, not even one. None. So when we use the verb in the affirmative, there is, we will then put no or none, as you've seen here. And of course, there's also the plural, no, there are none, if we were to ask a plural question. Okay, again, we have anything. So is there anything to drink in the fridge? Affirmative, yes, there's something. Negative, no, there isn't anything. And the affirmative verb, no, there is nothing, because we're using an affirmative verb with a negative word, which makes the whole meaning negative. So to summarize, some is used for affirmative sentences as well as something, someone, somewhere, somebody. Any is used in the negatives and the questions as well as anything, anyone, anywhere, anybody. And if you use a verb in the affirmative, such as there is, but then you use combinations of no, giving it a negative sentence, you can say no, nothing, no one, nowhere, nobody. Now, nobody and no one have the same meaning, but you'll typically find that no one is considered to be more correct in formal writing, whilst nobody is used more often in conversation and song lyrics. Okay, I hope that was really useful for you. If you want, you can write some sentences with some, any, no and none in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye!